Welcome to the Formula One brand new episode. Today, we're diving into a brand new explainer breaking down the wildest technical reset modern motorsport has literally ever seen. We're looking closely at what the drivers are actually facing right now in their 2026 F1 simulator runs and practice sessions. Because for 2026, every major system on the car is being rewritten at the exact same time. The aero, the power unit, the dimensions, the fuel, the whole shebang. It's a massive shift, and today we're going to unpack exactly what it all means for the drivers behind the wheel. To really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of these changes, we just have to look at the reactions pouring out of the early practice runs and simulator sessions. During the Bahrain practice tests, four-time world champ Max Verstappen absolutely did not hold back. He was super frustrated, famously saying the new cars feel like Formula E on steroids, and even went as far as to call the heavy focus on energy management anti-racing. But why would one of the fastest drivers on the planet say something like that? What is changing so drastically under the driver's fingertips? Well, let's find out.
So, here's our game plan for today. First, smaller, lighter cars. 2, active aero replaces DRS. 3, the 50-50 power split. 4, mastering high-speed chess. And finally, number 5, the future grid.
Section 1. Smaller, lighter cars, shrinking the footprint of Formula One. If you've been watching F1 over the last few years, you know the cars have gotten a lot of flack for being pretty bulky and sluggish. So, to fix that, the new cars are going on a massive diet. The wheelbase is shrinking by 200 millimeters, the width is being cut by 100 millimeters, and crucially, the minimum weight is dropping by 30 kilograms down to 768. Pulling this off while adding a giant battery meant they had to shave weight absolutely everywhere. The result? A much more nimble, aggressive machine for the drivers to handle.
Moving on to Section 2. Active aero replaces DRS. The end of the 1-second proximity rule.
Okay, so since 2011, making a pass basically meant you had to rely on DRS, right? Getting within 1 second of the car ahead to open your rear wing. Well, that entire concept is gone. Now, drivers are controlling a full-time, dual-wing, active aero system. You've got Z mode, which is the default for maximum cornering downforce, but when you hit a straight that's at least 3 seconds long, you activate X mode. This flattens the flaps on both the front and rear wings for low drag, and here's the real game changer. X mode is available to everyone, on every single lap, regardless of who is in front of them. This shift to active aero pairs up with the flatter floor, which means those controversial ground effect tunnels are a thing of the past. And just look at this number, 55%. That's a staggering 55% reduction in overall aerodynamic drag compared to the 2025 cars. Because of this massive drop, simulator data and track practice sessions are showing drivers hitting absolutely insane top speeds on the straights. We're talking numbers well over 350 kilometers per hour.
Section 3. The 50-50 power split. A new balance of combustion and electricity.
So while the physical engine is still a 1.6-liter turbocharged V6, its relationship with the electrical system has been totally flipped. Out of a total target of 750 kilowatts, the internal combustion engine is handling 400, while the MGUK, that's the electrical component, now pumps out an incredible 350 kilowatts. It's pretty much a perfect 50-50 split. Oh, and that super complex MGUH system that used to capture exhaust heat? Totally scrapped, to make the engine simpler and a lot cheaper.
Let's just pause on this 350 kilowatt number for a second, because it is literally mind-blowing. The old MGUK maxed out at just 120 kilowatts, so this near tripling of electrical power completely rewrites the DNA of the F1 car. The electrical side isn't just some supplementary boost anymore, it's a primary power source that drivers have to meticulously manage throughout the entire lap.
Section 4. Mastering high-speed chess. How drivers must adapt their tactics.
In these early simulator sessions, it's becoming super clear that driving these cars takes a whole new skill set. With the old-school DRS gone, overtaking is now this highly tactical, multi-step sequence. First, drivers use a lift-and-coast technique before corners, so lifting off the throttle early to aggressively harvest energy. Second, as soon as they hit the straight, they activate X mode to shed all that drag. And finally, if they manage to get within 1 second of the car ahead, they deploy a massive manual override, a 350 kilowatt electrical surge to blast right past their opponent.
Mercedes rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli actually hit the nail on the head after his simulator runs, saying, "It's like playing chess, but like a kind of speed chess." Drivers are restricted by a 7 megajoule recharge limit per lap, so they have to constantly think 2 steps ahead of the driver they're battling.
constantly calculating exactly when to save energy and when to dump their massive boost mode. It's just an intense mental workload, all while driving at 300 kilometers an hour.
And this whole tactical approach completely rewires the braking zones too. Let's look at Brembo's simulations for turn 11 at Melbourne. Max deceleration drops from 4.8 g-forces down to 3.3. Because the cars have less downforce and narrower tires, the braking distance stretches way out, from 96 meters to 116. But here's the wild part. Drivers will actually hit the brakes far less often, simply because they'll be lifting off the throttle to harvest energy way before they even reach the corner.
All of this creates an absolute headache of a balancing act for the drivers. For example, the second a driver lifts off the throttle to aggressively harvest energy, the rules state their active aero is instantly disabled, meaning their wings snap right back into high drag mode. Also, to prevent these cars from literally taking flight, the electrical power automatically ramps down as the car pushes past 290 kilometers per hour. The only way around that drag and power loss? Being close enough to use overtake mode, which gives you an extra half megajoule of battery life and a sustained 350 kilowatt surge. It's a constant, high-speed juggling act.
Section 5. The Future Grid. Dueling Perspectives and New Rivals.
As teams continue to shake down these new rules in practice and sim sessions, opinions are wildly divided. Like we talked about earlier, Max Verstappen had a pretty harsh critique, noting it feels like Formula E on steroids. The reality of all that lifting and coasting feels super unnatural to racing purists. Haas rookie Oliver Behrman totally agreed after his practice runs, calling the heavy reliance on energy management annoying and saying he just wished he could push the car flat out all the time. But, it's not all negative. Contrast those critiques with Esteban Ocon's reaction after preseason testing in Barcelona. Ocon was absolutely blown away by the new power unit. He said, "The way the speed climbs in the straight, it's something insane, honestly." Because of the super low drag and that massive immediate electric torque, he reported hitting 355 kilometers per hour going into turn 1. He noted that the instant acceleration out of corners is just far beyond anything he's ever felt in a race car. And honestly, the big picture here is that these sustainable fuel regulations and the new 50-50 power split are doing exactly what the FIA wanted. It's bringing in a massive influx of manufacturers. For 2026, we're looking at 5 distinct engine suppliers. We've got Mercedes, Ferrari, Red Bull partnering with Ford, Honda making a full return, and Audi stepping up as a brand new works team. Plus, the grid itself is growing to 11 teams, with Cadillac officially joining the fight. So here is the big question I'll leave you with today. Will this wild new era of speed chess and active aero create the most dynamic, unpredictable, and tightly packed racing in Formula One history? Or is the extreme focus on battery harvesting and lift and coast going to drag down the raw entertainment value of the sport? It is a massive gamble by the FIA, and we are going to find out the answer very soon. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Let me know what you think of the new F1 rules, and keep learning.